Hey everyone, this is this is my first live stream. I'm Kira Claw, uh, as you should be able to tell from the name on the program. Tomorrow is this channel's third birthday, and what have I been doing these 3 years? Not much. I have 25 subscribers, and I'm honestly shocked because, well, let's just say I haven't been doing much. And a few years ago, gonna be honest, I had an AI kick. I've taken down every video involving AI at all. I'm gonna be going through and taking down every video that doesn't have every artist sourced for art. So this is a forward apology for all of that crap. I am very against all of it now. But I do have to be honest so that I'm not just being completely hypocritical. I don't like AI for image development or songwriting or whatever. The only reason I ever use ChatGPT is just to tell it to save the things I brainstorm, because I'm not going to remember to write it all in a Google Doc and be able to look it up in my notes. That doesn't work for me. So it's literally just holding the things that I have told it to hold so that I can look my own stuff up. It's ridiculous. But beyond that, I don't use it for music at all anymore. I have like one song on here that for some reason I thought was cool and not proud of it. That's taken down. I don't think I ever had any image generation, but I had some audio things that I have also taken down at this point. So I apologize for those. That's not going to happen anymore. Or maybe just I want my project aside from my notes. I have a lot of notes. It says my connection died. It says to wait. Yeah, I know that nobody's actually watching this. I am live streaming it. I know nobody's watching it, but that's okay, because I think it saves the live stream, that people can go back to it, and that's really why I'm doing this. I just didn't want to go through the hassle of putting up a whole thing, going through editing. A little tired for that now. But one of the big things that I wanted to do with this, and this will come with another side note, and apology in regards to this, but I am writing a series, a Sonic fan series, because that's what this channel is. It's Sonic Alienate. I am a Sonic fan. That's what this channel is for. I have other channels that I'm not touching Sonic stuff at all on. That's where my other stuff will be from now on. I'm trying to moderate, or whatever the real term is for that. I'm an adult now. I'm not going to be childish, throwing out all this random stuff, but I can still throw out Sonic stuff, because sometimes you gotta be a kid, and that's perfectly fine, and that's why I'm here. So my new series is called Sonic Youth, and in Sonic Youth, I will be covering, it's a Sonic tribute series. I'm not going to be monetizing this channel ever. I won't be earning anything for it, but I want this to happen. Right now, I just have a script. I have a super big outline, lots of details, and all of this stuff. I've come up with all the ideas completely on my own, with the exception of the fact that they are based on actual events in the Sonic the Hedgehog realm. All of the official releases. I'm going to have Sonic Underground and Sonic Sat AM things for the first season, or 2, or something like that. So the first 2 seasons will be going off of those Saturday morning cartoons that I love them. And honestly, I think it's so sad that the show got canceled and they never really found their mom. Archie did their whole adaptation of it at some point, and I didn't have the heart to go into it. because honestly, it's more fun, it's more satisfying to me if I can bring something cohesive together, you know? So that's what this will be for a little bit, is we'll get to see Sonia, we'll get to see Manic, we'll get to have hopefully actual bangers, but I'm not good at writing music, so guys, just be patient with me. I'm gonna try to pull in some people, just random fan creators out there that hopefully we can connect and I can be like, okay, so you actually do music. That's fantastic. I like to write and I have lyrics and I have this series I'm trying to make. So hopefully I'll be able to get that together at some point, get some music put together for that, and you guys can have samples of that at some point. That probably won't be anytime soon, though. I'm going to try to finish writing the entire series in the next few months, and the reason why being I will not be doing anything for somewhere around 2 years, more like 1.5 years, come late October, early November. The reason being, I'm going on a mission, and I'm going to Lansing, Michigan, so that's super exciting for me. Yeah, I guess if anyone happens to be in Michigan, hi. If you somehow found this, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, so I'll be on a mission. I won't be able to do any of this at all for like 2 years. So I'm going to try to get the whole script out. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to try to post here a little more frequently. I'll be doing these kinds of live streams where I'm just talking your ears off. And I might be reading some pieces of script going through for a little while or throwing out ideas. And it'd be cool if I could get comments like, you know what, this specific thing is interesting. I'd like to know more about that. What I don't want to ever hear is, this sounds so cool. I love the visuals and I love the emotion or storytelling or whatever. I don't want to hear that flattery just to hear it followed up with, I do paid commissions. Because I hear that all the time. I wrote a book and posted it on Panana under the pen name Lenore Corvinet. The book is titled Night of Flames, and I keep getting, your story is so cool. I loved the visuals. I think it painted a very vivid picture, and I think it would be amazing to see a graphic novel adaptation. I do paid commissions and I write comic. No, I don't want to hear that because this project will be unpaid. Night of Flames is free. It's just something that I do for fun, but I can't be pouring tons of money into it just to have people like me off. I don't want to say it like that because there are genuinely good creators out there that I wish I could support, but I also just don't have the money to throw into fan projects that I'm never going to get anything back from. In fact, it might just get shut down if Sega doesn't like it. Side note on that, if this gets shut down, it is not paid. It is a fan tribute series, and I am in America, not Japan, and so this is legal. I've looked into a lot of copyright stuff. And yeah, so basically, if Sega shuts this down and says, please take away this series, Sega hates its fans. I'm sorry. If that happens to this series, Sega hates its fans. If Sega wants to talk to me and be like, wow, I love how you put the lore together, maybe there'll be something there. But that'd be cool. I also will not be abandoning any voice actors who get in on this. I won't be abandoning animators who are still working on it. People can come and go as they please and as they need. But if someone is actually with me in doing something and they've not told me that they are done, until somebody tells me they're done, they're on the project. If I tell them they can be on the project, they are on the project until they are done. So all these things that will probably never happen. Honestly, nobody's probably ever going to watch this video. But yeah, so that's where I'm at there. I have about half an episode written in Sonic Youth from the beginning. I also have the finale of it written already, which I will not be reading. Don't ask. I'm not reading the final clip to people. That will spoil a lot. It's honestly, I did have a few creative things where I wanted to, without saying too much, I wanted to give Sonic a character arc because he's such a static character for being a main character. Is he doesn't really change or grow or evolve much beyond this is a whole new generation, let's give Sonic a new look. Hate to say it. Occasionally he'll get little mini character arcs in certain games, but he's usually back to square one right away. I think it's cool if we can actually turn everything into a story. If we can connect Sonic Underground to the Freedom Fighters and Sally's group, and then we can connect those to the games. I think if we can manage doing that, which I have a plan, it's gonna happen. I have ideas. It's clicked in my mind, and yeah. So I think I've figured out how to make the lore cohesive, and it'd be really cool if Sega could reach out and be like, "Hey, will you help us with the lore?" And then I will go, call me back in 2028. Yeah, probably not. I'm really rambling. I ramble. It's not good. Why am I not wearing my glasses? Okay. But yeah, Sonic Youth, I want to see more of certain characters, and I know a lot of other people want to see more of those characters too. I will be bringing back a lot of those characters that we loved and that we miss and that are just gone from our lives and gone from the franchise, but I want to bring some of them back, and I want to give Sonia and Manic a chance. And I want to try to make everything a little more cohesive because honestly, let's be honest, the Sonic lore doesn't make sense, guys. Mostly the only thing that's been cohesive is it has to do with the Angel Island ruins and relics, and that's about it. We've got Chaos, who is one of the ancients, and we've got the mural, and it's Gerald took inspiration from the supersonic side of the mural, and Eggman took inspiration. Not really took inspiration. Eggman figured out how to release Chaos from that mural, but Gerald was like, wow, this super heroic hedgehog figure and this giant beast, these are amazing, and we can make immortal beings out of these. And I love that. But that's about as far as the lore has consistently stayed. I mean, honestly, we went from Eggman to Robotnik and Kintober to Kintober is just not... We're not touching Kintober. It's a mess. And I just want to clean up the mess because my brain has persisted in telling me all of these things that it would work better if this happened. It would make sense to the lore if the lore went like this. And that's just how it's gonna go at this point. Wait, is someone watching this? Hi. Yeah. Welcome in. I don't actually know if I can see who you are or if you're actually here, but welcome. Yeah, so this is what I want to accomplish with Sonic Youth. And with that in mind, I also want to apologize because in the past, I've wanted to do series like this, and I found someone's fan fiction online, reached out to the author. Oh, hi, Blitzy! It's you! Yeah, long time no see. Nice to see you again. Blitzy, this actually kind of goes out to you, this apology, where we were going to do, if you remember, we were going to do the Sonic Switch or whatever it was called, but like Sonic and Shadow switching bodies or souls or whatever. The Switch, yeah. And I didn't ever get to finishing that because I wound up both kind of having a falling out with the author in a way. We were doing a couple other authory projects together and just creative differences. I got stressed out. I deleted the whole Quotive account kind of a little bit suddenly. And honestly, when I went back and tried to finish reading that fan fiction series, it just, everything started falling apart, and I didn't want to finish that series at all. What I'm working on... Oh, that's okay. Well, you're not the reason we couldn't finish the project. That was completely on me. I should have been getting the script. I should have been telling the author, you got to get the script together, otherwise I'll just make a script and try to stay true. It's nothing to do with you voice actors. You voice actors are who I'm apologizing to because you guys never got to really work on it at all. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry to Blitzy and Chaotic Kid and basically anyone else who auditioned for those. Because basically I wasn't really part of the casting either, if I'm going to be honest. Like, all of that was pretty much Commander H's jurisdiction. So, Sonic Youth, I'm not going to be doing any recordings or anything for that for a couple of years. I mentioned earlier, but you weren't in yet. Yeah, it does take a lot of time, voice acting and script writing. So I'm wanting to get the script going first and have at least a season of the script before I actually am leaving on my mission to Michigan. And that'll be, I will not be able to do anything on here. What's the beeping? I don't know, I might be going crazy. But I will be gone for about a year and a half, so I won't be able to do anything here for that. So I want to get the script done before I leave. That'll be late October or early November. And then when I get back, sometime in 2028, that's when... Thanks, Blitz. So sometime in 2028, that's when I'm going to look for animators. It's going to be the first step, as well as songwriters, because it will be starting off with Sonic Underground. And I want to just kind of do all new songs and things for that, for the whole generic story. So I'm going to get songwriters and animators, and then after that... Thanks! I hope it goes well too. And I hope that whatever you are doing in that time goes well. So, yeah, and then once I finish getting the first season, at least animatics for it, and the songs, then I'll get the voice actors to come in and I'll start putting out those auditions. And I'd love for you to audition again if you're up for it at some point, Blitzy, as well as anyone else that might see this later. And just also anyone else who wants to join in. Nobody's got concrete roles. Even the people that we've had roles for in the past, no one definitely has any specific role because it's been so long. But I do want to try to cast all the people who were there with me originally, at least somewhere decently significant, and I'd love to bring in a lot of new people as well. And so that's my hope, is hopefully I can start still voice acting for anyone's channels. That's awesome. If anyone needs voice actors and somehow stumbles across this, Blitzy is open to doing things. And writing your own scripts. That's awesome. And just living life. That's what you're supposed to do, Sonic says. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to open up for voice actors sometime in 2029, and we can get the first season out in around 2030. And that's my desired timeline for it. Though I do have to be honest, I've kind of been working on Sonic Youth, and at least brainstorming for it and thinking about it and just going through it in my mind for 3 years already. So in 4 years, we'll see. Hopefully it's out by then. I'm glad. I'd be honored to have you audition again in the future. But yeah, that's obviously not holding auditions now because in 2 years, you never know. And I will not be able to maintain contact with anybody. I've already been awful at that. So I'll be trying to post more. I'll be trying to do some live streams like this on occasion and just occasionally reading off clips of the script or giving ideas on the script or fleshing out characters a little more. I agree. Patience is key. And that's why it's taken so long, because I want this to actually go well. So I only have half of the first episode fully written out and a little clip, like 5 minutes of the finale. And that's like the actual end to the whole series. And what the series is looking like, we can get into the fun stuff now. It's looking like it'll be 9 or 10 very long seasons. If I can manage to keep that going. But the first season, I'm calling it The Underground, because it's going to be going off of Sonic Underground and also some other characters and events from Sat AM, which is what we've started calling the other Sonic Saturday morning cartoon that isn't Adventures of or Sonic Underground. This one was just called Sonic the Hedgehog. So to avoid confusion for any people like my dad who hear Sat AM and they go, what? Saturday AM? And I know that's what the others were also. But that's what we call the one that didn't have a specific special name. It's Sonic Sat AM now. So I'll have some things from there, and I'll have Sonic Underground, and that'll be book 1. The second book I'm calling, and sorry, I'm calling it book. That's because I had it in my mind when I started brainstorming all this, that I should do it the way Avatar did it. Yeah, Sonic Underground and Sat AM were really good. I liked Sonic Sat AM probably more than any of the other Sonic Saturday morning cartoons at the time. Even rewatching it now, I still like it a lot. And then Sonic Underground, rewatching it now, it feels a little more childish, not gonna lie. But I want to sort of grow that up and bring it into this generation a little more. And I'm really excited for that because I did love the themes of Sonic Underground and I loved the story and concept of it. So I'm really hyped too. And yeah, so 1 is what the next season is called. And I've been calling them books because that's what Avatar The Last Airbender does. Is they called it Book Water, Book Earth, Book Fire. And for some reason, my brain decided that that's what I should do too. So that's why I keep referring to them as books. But basically, the second season is going to be called 1. And it covers the second half of the finale, possibly, from Underground. And then it also gets an extended plot of Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And at the end of it is when we will be introduced to Miles, Tails, Prower. So it's going to take a little while for us to get to Tails, but I think the wait will be worth it. Because I'm going with the whole true story of how Sonic and Tails met. And hopefully I nail the emotional stakes of everything really well for Sonic himself. Because I really want the entire series to have Sonic grow as a character and to have Sonic become somebody more than he started off as. Because I think there are some character flaws that Sonic has a lot of times that we don't really focus enough on, but they're not fatal flaws, so nobody's really tried to fix them other than a little mini arc of character growth for the Sonic just wants to run off and get everything done without his friends, like in Sonic Prime, and he'll get a little character arc there. But he'll always be back at square one in the next game. I want to tie everything together, and that's why I'm going from Sonic Underground all the way through Sonic Frontiers. Voicing Tales for a Friend's project. Oh, that's fun. What project is that? I'm actually going to pin that comment so that people can see it when they jump in. Because I think they should go support my friends. Even if they're just online friends. Still are my friends. But yeah, just whenever you've got that response curated, if you want to tell us what that project is, we'd love to hear it. I'm going to be switching between tabs, so I might not see it right away. So yeah, 1 gets up to meeting Tails. And then 3 is called Found Family, and that'll be developing his kind of relationship with Tails, being his brother figure that he takes in, and also kind of reintroduces after a whole Eggman comes back, Eggman Empire comes back with a vengeance. Once we get through all of that, then we'll even get to see Sonia and Manic again. They took a little bit of a break for 1. In 1, it's just Sonic and Eggman. And so hopefully that season doesn't ruin it for everybody. That's going to be a rough one. It's going to be rough on Sonic as well. And then it's also going to cover Sat AM, I think. So you can be looking forward to that storyline being a little more focused on in season 3, as opposed to book 1 being mostly Sonic Underground. So both of those will get most of their story timeline brought back, at least the significant parts. Okay, it's called Sally.exe Whisper of Soul. Video gameplay. Interesting. Yeah, love to see Sally getting some attention. That's definitely something that, honestly, Sally just needs to be brought back to the games. I know a million people have said it and it's never going to happen, but it needs to happen. Because Sally's awesome. It should have been Sally instead of Elise in Sonic 06. It would have been really cool to see Sally get kind of an upgrade and get to see her again. And I think I would have supported the whole side romance plot more if it was Sally. Yeah, definitely a great character from Sat AM, and also the Archie comics, which they were planning her and a lot of those characters at the same time. But then they had character, like hair color inconsistencies for Sally, which was really funny to see how that changed in the comics, because they went with her original hair color design. They went with her original design. And the only thing that changed between that and Sonic Sat AM was her hair color. And so the comics decided, we're going to change Sally's hair and we're going to make the characters go on a little side prank where they expose her for using hair dye. And so there was just this little side thing, and Sally's obviously upset at them and yada yada, but it was just a little weird random thing early on in the Archie comics when they decided we gotta fix this. That's also why Bunny was introduced and was brought into Sonic Sat AM right from the start. But Sonic Archie, the Archie comics, they didn't have Bunny planned. They didn't know about her, so they introduced her later and gave her the half robotization, or bleh, I can't say it, never mind. But they made her half robot as part of the Archie comics to introduce her. But in Sonic Sat AM, that was a huge part of Sonic's background and her background, and basically everyone was there as kids to watch it happen. If I'm getting that right, if that's how that went in Sonic Sat AM, which I think it was, but it's been a hot minute. So yeah, that's why Bunny isn't there at the very beginning of the Archie comics, but she is there in the show, and they released around the same time. So I just find that funny. In book 4, or season 4, I need to stop calling it that. Season 4 is called Charge, and it's going to cover Sonic 3, and Knuckles kind of domain. And it's kind of charging forwards to the next major plot lines. It's giving hints about it's giving hints to where Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 are going to be, and you get to see a lot in there. Actually, the very next season, season 5, The Ultimate Lifeform, starts off the way I'm bridging the gap between those, between Sonic 3 as well as the Sonic Adventure series, and I'm going to put CD in there somewhere before Sonic Adventure 2. But in the meantime, the thing that bridges those two is a little scene with Eggman and Gerald Robotnik both going to Angel Island and seeing a mural of Supersonic fighting Chaos, which has been touched on quite a few times in like lore breakdowns of the series and lots of other things, but I really want to give that a central focus here. And so the very first scene in season 5 it'll be from the point of first person exploring the mystic ruins on Angel Island. And Eggman and Gerald, they're just voicing over on the scene because, again, it's first person. So it's like, this could be either while Eggman's exploring or Gerald's exploring, and you can just kind of see that both of them took that route. Both of them did this thing. And so, without just full-on reading the script, they reach the mural, and they look up at it, and they go, this is it. This is the perfect being, the ultimate life form. And in Gerald's goggles, he's looking at Supersonic. In Eggman's goggles, he's looking at Primal Chaos. And Eggman is looking at Primal Chaos because he wants to release Primal Chaos. That's the whole point of Sonic Adventure. But the whole point of Sonic Adventure 2 is Shadow, basically. And Shadow, we have had it confirmed, at least through very close theories and lore breakdowns that are very, very convincing, that Gerald has things from the Angel Island Shrine in the space colony, and so we only assume that he was there and saw that mural. And that's why Shadow looks like Sonic. He was originally going to look a lot more like Sonic. If you look up Terios, that was his original design, and that was his original name. But yeah, so that kind of ties Sonic 3 to both Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 at the same time. And I might have occasional callbacks to parallels between what's happening to Sonic and what happened to Shadow in the past on the Space Colony arc. But for the most part, that's your main teaser for Sonic Adventure 2 all the way back at the beginning of that season. You're not actually going to get to Sonic Adventure 2 until halfway through that season, because it covers the entire adventure arc. The season 6 is titled Got Time, and that's going to cover Sonic 06. And funny enough, as I was talking about Sally earlier being far superior to Princess Elise, yeah, Princess Sally Acorn is going to take the place of Princess Elise, because she's better. Thank you. Oh, hey, there's a second person here. Book 7 is going to be titled Sonic Alienate, named after this channel, which is named after something in the thumbnail. It's a podcast on Spotify titled Sonic Alienate, and it is one of my greatest fan fiction regrets. And I did that all the way, like, sophomore year of high school. That was years ago. But it was really bad, and even back then I knew it. So it only got 2.5 episodes. And you will be able to see that if you ever look at it. Just don't listen to it, because it's awful. It's really bad. It's a mesh between Sonic and Mario. It's their worlds basically colliding because of a technical mishap on Eggman's part. And I killed half the characters because angsty sophomore me wanted to do that for some reason. So, I guess a little random apology for making that thing exist. I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know how to take it down. So it's just there. But that's actually what this channel is named after. Is that regret? And that's what this next season is going to be named after. It's just named after the channel, basically. But it's a little bit of a callback there to anyone who pays enough attention. But what it actually covers is not anything to do with Mario. Oh, Blitz, did you have to leave then? Okay, never mind. But Book 7, that's going to actually cover Sonic Colors and Sonic Unleashed, hence the Alienate name, where he's actually... Okay, that's good. It just, on my icon for a second, it said that it switched to 0 viewers, so I don't know if there was, like, a connection disruption. Anyway. But because he goes into space for Sonic Colors to save a whole bunch of aliens, that makes sense. And then in Sonic Unleashed, he's also alienated because he's turned into a werewolf. So, I mean, honestly, what else do you say happened to him? He got alienated. He couldn't... Amy hugged him and realized this isn't Sonic. But it was the one time she ever caught Sonic. And it was him, but she didn't think it was. And it's just sad. It's hilarious, but it's sad. So Sonic Unleashed is kind of him having to put up with doing things completely alone and being kind of shunned from society for the whole entire night. And then Season 8 will cover Sonic Generations and Shadow Generations. And that's going to open up a little bit of a... It's going to open up some problems. Sonic's going to have a little episode where he now can go back and change the past. Shadow had that opportunity too. He got to see someone that he cared for deeply that was killed, and Shadow turned around and he said, "You're Maria from your own timeline, and I can't risk everything just to keep you, because that would be wrong of me, and I've processed things and I've grieved properly." Sonic doesn't grieve. Sonic did not grieve Uncle Chuck. We all know Uncle Chuck got roboticized. There's the word. Everyone knows that Uncle Chuck was roboticized, or was dead, or whatever, depending on where you're getting your Uncle Chuck from. And Sonic has not grieved that. At least not properly. And so Sonic Generations, for him, he has the same idea as Shadow. What if I could keep him? What if I could go back and save the person that I lost? What if I could stay with the person I lost? What if? And at some point, he does give in, and he takes one of those wormholes, and he goes to try and save Uncle Chuck. And you'll have to wait and see how that works out. But if you've seen Sonic Sat AM, he does go back in time to that day for an episode in there. Yeah, you did audition for Uncle Chuck. I had very different ideas for what that voice would sound like from, I don't know. It's just all over the place. Lots of ideas for that voice. We were going to play around with it. But, yeah. So, Uncle Chuck, yay! Let's try to save him in Season 8. And then season 9 is going to cover Sonic Forces, Sonic Frontiers, and also reference Sonic Prime for an episode where there will be the Paradox Prism and there will be the cave. I am okay giving this spoiler though. I don't ever enter the Shatterverse with the characters. What we're going to show is basically from the moment Rouge mentions the Paradox Prism and, Eggman tricks them to get Sonic's power in order to blast through the wall, yada yada. From all of that until the moment he charges into the Paradox Prism and shatters the Paradox Prism. He's not gonna shatter the Paradox Prism in this series because it's going to stop there and pick up at the end of Sonic Prime, where he went back and stopped himself from shattering it. And so it's just gonna stitch that together. And so people who know, they know. People who don't know, that's nice. You had a really weird episode that probably didn't make any sense to you, and you probably do not care about that episode. Or if you do know anything about it, and you come in much later and they reference the Shatterverse in any regard, specifically Sonic, because he and Shadow are the only ones who know what happened there. Yeah, you might be a little confused if you missed that episode and did know Sonic Prime. That's fine, I don't care. It's gonna exist. Just for kicks and giggles. In order to tie it into Ian's idea of everything is canon and saying that Sonic Prime was canon. He says, you'll know when it would connect. Do we really? We do not know when that actually was supposed to connect, so I'm just gonna make something up, have a random side episode, and keep going with life. Just to make fun of Ian Flynn a little bit. Just to poke fun. And then I've got some songs written. And I have that first episode half written. So that's a lot of fun. Meanwhile, this has been going on for almost 45 minutes, so this is probably going to be it for this episode. I covered all the things that I really intended to today. But yeah, sometime, not tomorrow, but later in the week or something, I will probably read the first half of the script or the first half of the first episode, I mean. Or the whole episode if I finish by then. So, I guess Monday or Tuesday or something, I can probably do another live stream and just do that there. And it will not be at a specific time. Probably around this time. Anyway. Yeah, thanks for coming in, Blitzy. It was good to talk to you. Best wishes. Kira Claw out. I haven't said that in a while.